Hey, Tacoma Prepper here, aka Erik Rosenblatt. And so today is going to be a bit of a gear review sort of thing. And I guess I'd like to talk about 5 survival products that I thought were pretty dumb at first, but turned out to actually be pretty good. Alright, let's get into it, shall we? Of course, first you're going to want a trusty old AK. Okay, so seeing as how I have like a bunch of different items, I guess I don't know. I'll bring the camera in close and do my best to kind of showcase those things, alright? There's going to be a bunch of cuts, so enjoy. Well, I guess item number 1 is going to be the Lucy Light. That's Luci. It's a solar inflatable light that floats and stuff. I actually have a couple here. This is one of the earliest goofy, seemingly gimmicky things that turned out to actually be pretty good and useful. So these things, a little solar panel on the top, series of LEDs around there, and there's a button. And of course it's got one of those little inflator things. You can deflate them, they flatten up. There's various different types. I'll turn at least this one on. Oh, wait, no, haven't charged it. There we go. Well, hold on a second here. Let's just at least get a little bit of air in there. All right, there we go. Maybe I'll do this one. Okay. There. All right, so these things have a bunch of different modes. They float. The little hanging strap on the top and the bottom. I saw these things at a sporting goods store, thought they were totally goofy. Completely, I was like, there's no way, but I bought one, and then I took it camping, and it was awesome. And then I bought another and another and another. I have so many of these now. They're really, really cool. These have been through hell, a desert camping trip and, and stuff. A little dusty. That's probably why this one hasn't been fully charged. But yeah, they're a great product. They pack up really compact, and they work. So, okay, on to the next one. All right, the next item on the list is this little rechargeable, portable soldering iron. So this is actually a Kanger-style vape device. It's got USB-C charging in the back, and then this little screw-in soldering tip. I think you could probably put in different tips if you need, but this just seemed completely ridiculous. I was like, no way. There's no way this thing's going to be that great. But I'll tell you what, I've used it many, many times. One of the most handy things is when you're working on car electronics and you got to solder something like up under a dashboard or whatever. Like, good luck running an extension cord and all that stuff. This thing actually works. It's pretty cheap, and I've been soldering ever since I was like, probably 6th grade, I think. And so I'm pretty familiar with things, and I was like, there's no way this could possibly be a useful soldering iron, but it actually works, especially for field repairs and things like that. If you're doing some kind of complex project and you need a bunch of precision, this is definitely not your thing, but that's not what this is for. And so, yeah, as a survival thing, absolutely great. It's so small, fits in a pocket, although I don't know if I'd put it in a pocket because you could accidentally push that button and, this gets hot. That's the whole point of a soldering iron. So, yeah, okay, that is that item, so we'll go on to the next one. All right, well, might as well go with get the big one out of the way. This is the Emergency Essentials Bucket Toilet. I guess you can kind of see it. So it's basically a bucket with a toilet seat on top. But there it is. And I thought it was kind of gimmicky, but I've actually, so now here's the thing, I've used this thing several times. Well, for camping, a couple times, camping in the desert, and also one time when my sewer pipe collapsed and I was having work done and I couldn't use the toilet. So I set this up. There's paper towels, rolls of toilet paper, so little scooper in there. There's some cat litter, a couple of garbage bags, and some deodorizer stuff. But this definitely works, and it is a lifesaver, I guess, in certain situations. But certainly, for what it is, it absolutely works, and yeah, got no complaints. All right, we'll go on to the next one. Okay, next on the list is this Fisker's little plastic trowel. I've talked about this in previous episode, and this is one of those things where I saw it at Walmart. It was like $1, and I thought, there's no way this thing's gonna be that good. It's gonna snap and break, and it just won't hold up. And well, I've used this thing a lot, and it works. So, for the price, you get a pretty decent trowel. I have no complaints. They have a couple different things. I think there's a cultivator, a couple different similar profile tools that are all plastic and everything. But yeah, you get a lot of bang for your buck with this guy. All right, so we'll get on to the next one. Okay, so this is something I saw a while back in REI and thought, this just seems kind of an expensive thing that's not really, there's no way it's going to be that great. The BioLite tamp stove here, and well, I've used this quite a bit, and it's awesome. Really, really awesome. So it's kind of this system. They have a whole bunch of different accessories and whatnot. But everything, at least for the basic kit, it all packs up into this container here, which then becomes your cooking vessel right here. Ooh, let's see, like this stuff. And then you have this thermocouple. Oh, let's see. I'll put it together here. All right, deploy the legs. This thing goes up into here, and that goes into there. So there's a thermocouple right here. And that provides electricity. So you put sticks and stuff in here and get it going. There's actually a fan in here that blows air through the system, kind of making it like a rocket stove of sorts. Also, there's a USB port on here, so you can charge your electronics with fire, which is just mind-blowing. And so this little guy right here, let's see if I can get this into frame. That fits on top, so you can boil water, cook things, whatever. There's a bunch of different accessories, like I said. I have a little grill attachment that fits on top of it. Pretty cool. Absolutely an awesome thing. It's a bit on the pricey side, but for what you get, it's great, and it works. I absolutely had my doubts. I was like, no way can I charge my phone using fire. But, yep, you absolutely can. And it's amazing. Okay, let me put this back together and we'll get on to the last thing, all right? Okay, so the last item is this handmade PVC bow. It's a recurve bow. Really, actually nice craftsmanship for what it is, but it's made of PVC tubing that people have heated up and bent and formed into shape. I've seen these and always thought there's no way this could be an effective bow. It just can't be. It's made of PVC tubing. But my dad gave this to me for Christmas one year, I believe, and oh my God, it actually works. So I have a little quiver here with some various arrows and everything. But yeah, it totally works. It probably doesn't have the same kind of draw weight and power as a wood recurve bow, but I mean, you could probably take down some game with that, I suppose. Certainly it actually works really well, and it isn't all wonky. It doesn't fire all wonky like I thought it would. So yeah, I mean, I suppose your mileage may vary depending on who makes it and stuff, because obviously these things are not really commercially made. So maybe there's some good ones, maybe some bad ones. I just happened to get a good one, I guess. But yeah, so well, that's the last item, I guess. All right, I'll conclude the episode then. So, those are 5 items that I thought would be absolutely useless, but are actually not bad, and sometimes pretty cool. Uh, what? I guess tell me what you think of these things if you've used them, your experiences. I'd be real curious. Also, let me know if you have similar products that kind of fit into that category of just appear totally ridiculous, but actually turned out to be very, very useful, or more than you expected. I might end up doing a review on those. I'll probably do more of a in-depth review of some of this stuff, weather permitting. Well, not gonna do this one, all right? That goes on my OnlyFans. So, okay, well, thanks for watching, and yeah, share your thoughts in the comments down below. Take it easy.